Real life, real people, real stories. It's time to acknowledge people in the community. Each week, come along and take a look into the lives of some extraordinary people. See how a story of a complete stranger can be so similar to your own.
Hi, I'm Al Parisi. Pompie McCullough rode the roller coaster of life from the streets here on Clinton Avenue all the way to the top. Please watch this very interesting narrative so that we can learn life lessons taught to us by Pompie McCullough. Pompie was born in the Clinton Avenue section of Rochester, one of 8 brothers and sisters. Pompie McCullough rode life's roller coaster. It is a Rochester survival story. A man who made it out better than ever. Mr. McCullough, it's an honor to be with you here today as a local hero.
It's an honor to be here, sir.
Pompie, can you tell me a little bit about what it was like growing up on the streets of Rochester?
Growing up as a kid, I had a lot of fun growing up as a kid. And, I come from a family-orientated gathering. So as a kid, like I said, I had a lot of fun as a kid. But as I grew into my teenager life and my adult life, that's when life changed on me.
And when you say life changed on you, Pompie, what do you mean by that?
Well, I started hanging out on the streets. I started hanging out on the blocks, with other kids.
And what was it, Pomp, that took you from this family relationship to hanging out on the streets? What was that?
It was just a thing of my era. We hung out a lot, as I grew up as a kid, as being a teenager, back in the 60s.
And what was it, when you hit those streets, what was it like, Pomp?
What was it like hanging in the streets?
Right.
The streets was rough.
And when you say rough, what do you mean by that?
I mean, it's just, the streets are hardcore, and they make you hard. They make you hardcore, on just the environment, Al.
In terms of your movement from childhood into young adulthood, can you tell me, Pomp, what was it that drew you to the streets? What was it, Pomp, that drew you out of that family into the streets?
It was just the company that I started keeping drew me to the streets.
And Pomp, what was it about this company or this group of friends that was so enticing to you? What was it, Pomp?
It was just a way of the generation and the era of that time that drew me to them. Everybody was just doing their own thing, and it was really like fun. I had a lot of fun. Wasn't all bad.
And when you say fun, right, Pomp? Is that why it drew you? Like, in other words, you're a kid and you see this group of kids out here doing things what you knew were wrong, Pomp, right? Because you were raised right.
Right.
You knew. And what was it that drew you to that lifestyle? What was it, Pomp?
It was just a way of that lifestyle that attracted me. I liked a lot of stuff they was doing, like gangs, drug selling, getting high. A lifestyle like that is what I'm talking about that made it real hard.
And when you were in that part of your life, were you selfish at that point in your time?
Very much so, yes.
And what do you mean by very much so? What do you mean by that?
The streets is the type of environment that will make you selfish. It'd be like they say, do or die. Everything be about you. And then once you start developing the lifestyle, it really turns you into a monster, Al.
And how was it that you began to turn yourself from that monster? What was it, Pomp? Was it a day? Was it a year? What was it that turned you from that monster?
After man being in the streets half of my life, being a junkie, alcoholic, which I didn't drink that much, but it was a part of it. I just got tired of living like that, right? So I did it so long. I got high so long. I wasn't getting high anymore. And then I didn't want to die a junkie. I didn't want to leave a legacy behind to my kids that your daddy was a junkie. You know what I'm saying? So I got tired.
And at what age did you get tired, Pomp?
18 years ago. I've been sober 18 years.
But at what age were you when you got tired?
I don't know, go back from 57, I'll do the math. 38, 37.
So let me ask you this, though. Did it take you that long to grow up?
It took me that long to grow up. And let me tell you something else about growing up. Some people never grow up. Some people never grow up. Some people never reach a bottom. It don't have to be drugs or alcohol. It could be anything. Gambling.
It could be life.
Whoremongering. It could be life, on life terms. Some folks never grow up. And I just thank God I grew up.
And when you did grow up, what helped pull you up out of it?
God did. For me. It's not to offend anyone, me saying that. Because, you know, everybody believes in what they want. So I have the choice. I have the right to believe in what I believe in, right? So I felt like it was a God that helped pull me up out of that.
Tell me, in terms of the roller coaster, where did that lifestyle take you? Did it take you up, and then did it take you down?
Did it. Took me straight to a hell on earth. A hell of today. That's where it took me.
Hey, Pomp, looking at you today, it's hard to understand what you mean by you were at hell on earth. Looking at you as a successful guy, a family guy, where were you? Where did that roller coaster ride take you?
Man, Al. It took me to a world that, you know, I ended up in a dark, lonely place all by myself. And, you know, this stuff, I really don't want to go off into this part of that dark place because I get emotional. I didn't have nowhere to go.
And when you said you didn't have anywhere to go, Pomp.
Listen, man. The drugs do you real bad. Not knowing.
It's okay, Pomp.
Just wait, just give me a minute. I just gotta get it out. Not knowing where you're gonna eat the next day. People you know love you, ride past you like they don't know you. Not knowing where you're gonna stay. That's where this shit take you. It takes you somewhere you don't want to be. In the end of the roller coaster ride, Al, I'm telling you. You don't want your kids to ever experience that monster, man. It was just the grace of God I made it through. Some love me more than I love myself. That's how I made it through. So if I cuss, because that's how I feel. That's why I'm hard on my grandkids. If you choose this, this is your outcome. This is how you can end up, and this is how you can die. You can go early, man. And God saw fit to spare me, man. And it's hope for the hopeless. Like you said to me, you're right, man. You're looking at a miracle when you look at me, man. Everything happened to me, but, you know, I was never raped. I was never molested. I was never shot. I was never cut out. I done a lot of stuff to where that could have happened to me, and God didn't allow that to happen to me, you know. And I still in my right frame of mind, man. I'm telling you, I was a junkie. I just didn't shoot it. I snorted and I smoked it. And I'm not that person today, man. So you do have a choice. You don't have to live like that. I found out 15 years later, man, I ain't have to keep living like that. And what pushed me out there, yeah, it started at home. A lot of other shit went on in my life. It started at home. Be very particular, man, how you treat your kids and how you bring them up. Because you don't want them out there like that, man. You don't want them to go left. So a lot of that is what drove me left. Just keep it real, man. And I had to go through a lot of healing. And the church did it. And people prayed for me. They mentored me. They walked me through this thing, man. They taught me their principles. That's how I came out. Because I didn't think nothing cared about me, man. I forgot how to love myself. My wife told me, you're a good person. You just forgot how to love yourself again.
And today's kids, explain to me how their families and today's kids are, quote, different.
I could just explain from, my culture. I don't know about the minority's culture because I don't live the minority. I just can share with you what I experienced with my culture. You know what I'm saying?
Right, and
so
how are those kids different, Pop?
These kids are different, man, because, a lot of these kids are raising themselves, Al. They raising themselves in their homes, man. No parenting, no mentors. You know what I'm saying? They're grown at the age of maybe 8, 10, 11, 12 years old. They taking care of their brothers and sisters. Mom and dad off doing something else like I was doing. Not being critical, because I'm not here to be critical or defend anyone.
And let me ask you this next question, though, Pop. Are the streets different today?
They harder, and they're more dangerous today.
And when you say they're harder and more dangerous today, what do you mean by that?
Because these kids are killing each other today. They weren't killing each other when I was a kid, Al. Come on. When it was a shooting with kids, it made big news. Now it's an everyday thing. It's an everyday thing today, man. It's like it's a curse.
And let me ask you this. Are the parents different today?
Very much so. I just first stated that to you. These kids raising themselves, a lot of them. Not all of them. Don't get me wrong. And I'm not knocking my culture. But, yeah, parents are different today.
So with respect to today's kids and today's families, Pop, if you were to give them and say, look, I'm recognized. One thing that helps you connect with the kids today, how do you do it, Pomp? If you have a house on a street and you want to connect with today's kids, what do you do, Pomp?
Far as getting them to receive something you trying to share with them or teach them.
Correct. I like the word you said, receive. How do you get these kids today to receive you?
You got to give them something, Al.
And what do you mean by giving them something?
You got to just show them love. You got to continue to show them love. You might buy them some sneakers or outfit. Take one of them and get a haircut.
You explained to me once about an ice cream cone. How an ice
about
cream
the
cone
kids
can make a difference
on my street.
Right. What is it? How can an ice cream cone get somebody to receive you?
I didn't want the kids on my property, right?
Okay.
So, because they're a liability. I know that hanging around you about liabilities, right? So, I had to come up with a solution on how to keep them off my property. So, when the ice cream truck used to come through the streets, I started buying them ice cream. Then I started going to the store buying them freeze pops, candy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So just that little candy and ice cream, it worked.
And now what is it like when they kick a ball on your lawn?
They will not go on my property. Well, the kids are growing up now, but 8 years ago, the kids wouldn't go on my property. They didn't like me and my wife. They thought we was monsters and mean. You know what I'm saying? And then the parents wouldn't even, we used to go to the parent, we don't want your kids on our property because if they get hurt, you're going to want to sue us.
Right.
So the parents wasn't getting it. So once I started that, the kids started respecting us.
And then you were received.
From a little popsicle.
And
then I was received.
From an ice cream cone.
From an ice cream cone, man.
So your number one thing is if you want to get received by these children, you
got to plant some type of seed with these kids, man. You got to give them some kind of outlet. You got to give them something. Something that they can see, they can believe in.
Right. And that's why you try to, as much as you can in every walk of life, to give back.
To give back. What's the problem? Especially if you're in a position to give back. What's the big deal, Al? Come on.
And let me ask you this question. If you were able to change one thing or to give some advice to this generation or to that kid watching this or to that parent watching this, what do kids today, how do they climb out, Pom?
They have to be educated, man. Definitely. It's the education. Education, knowledge is powerful. We talked about that the other day.
Right.
It's more powerful than a 9mm bullet. And like we talked about the other day, choices. Maybe some of their choices are limited, but it's still a choice. These kids have to go to school. They have to be educated out. There's no other way out than education.
And what is it about education that now you think will let them climb out?
Corporate America respect it. That's what it is, man. Corporate America respect education. The more education you have, the more respect you'll get. Like my daughters, all three of my daughters have fine jobs. One of my daughters is a workers' comp representative. She's a supervisor, right? She have a staff of 20 people under her. My other daughter work at ADT. She's ADT tech. My youngest daughter work with autistic kids. So how did they get in this position to get these jobs? My daughters are educated. I'm not bragging. This is a fact. One name is Teresa, Cordon, and Don Shay. Those are my daughter's names.
And it was the education that was able to pull
The
them out.
education did it for my kids.
Well, Mr. McCullough, I mean, Pompie, I can't thank you enough for sharing this because, I mean, you being a local Rochester, we throw around the words, and what I love about this so much, and the reason that I wanted to pick you as our first winner of this award was because you made it out against all odds, Pomp.
But Al,
and you give back.
Before you shut this down, I gotta say this, Al. I gotta say something about my wife.
Sure.
My wife played a role in me getting out too. She didn't give up on me.
Right.
She, like the first year, I took her through hell because I was still getting high. I've been sober 18 years, married 19.
Right.
That first year, I took her through hell. And you know what? She almost gave up, but she didn't.
Right.
She stuck with me, Al. God gave me a quarterback. You can't win that game tomorrow without a quarterback, right?
Right.
So God blessed me with a strong, please don't edit this, a strong quarterback, and you know her.
Right.
Yeah, and
Oh,
I thank
absolutely.
God.
And it's through the course of several people. I noticed you light up when you talked about your family. Your family now has become your everything, and you went from selfish to a family man who's the proudest man on earth. And like you say, it can be whatever it is, but you have a home, you have a family, you have the American dream.
Yes, I do.
God bless you, Pom.
You too. God bless you.